So then, welcome again to another COINATION AMA, this time with BloomBlock. It's a pleasure having you, Paul.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Baseball is the dev of BloomBlock. I think most of us already know him, but for the guys who don't know you yet, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, name is Baseball. Briefly, actually, about myself. I'm American Egyptian, raised in Amsterdam. I'm in Amsterdam now. I'm full time in crypto 24/7, literally 24/7. So the past few weeks, 9 a.m. work days with a few hours of sleep. But if you're also 24/7, then you're quite accustomed to that. Uh, so with this project, this is probably third or fourth that I fully dev'd, but I've before that I was marketer, content, and strategic implementation for a lot of projects. Some to name was Wolverino, and then for we were the brother token, which was Hulkino, and now we have created BloomBlock, which is brought to you by Hulkino as our first tokenized utility and the start of the Hulk Hub. So this will be Hulkino is the meme coin surrounded by utility tokens that are self-sustainable, useful in the bear market, and then boom in the bull market even more than their reveal. So yeah, that's just about most about me. No one wants to know my life story.
Okay, now you got me curious. So how did you get into developing? Did you go to a coding school, or was this a side hobby of yours which you grow into?
I know. So interesting enough, right? A lot of the devs aren't devs; they're really founders. But now I am. Now I've coded the contract for BloomBlock Custom. But yeah, it's basically just being around them. So every project, you learn a new task, and you get a bit more savvy. So after multiple projects with marketing and content, and obviously that ties right into strategic implementation. The only thing I was missing was some coding. I learned that through Holkino as we parted ways with our coding dev, and then I took over. But yeah, so basically how I learned all this stuff was, I have this network, and we make relationships, whether it's with our influencers, marketers, or DApp developers, that we stay in touch. But when you go for longevity, you really do have to learn how to code. So I know how to do websites, white papers, some coding for dApps, and then custom coding for contracts. And you learn tricks here and there because you have to keep it going. You can't always rely on others. So eventually you learn everything for survival.
Okay, you grew into it on along the journey, let's say it like that.
Yeah, exactly. Trial
Yeah,
and error.
I imagine it can be hard. You're always in need of trusting other people's because you can't what is called, you can't now I'm missing the word. You can't work out the data yourself. If you look on the contract and you don't know how to read it, it can get quite hard.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, crypto moves fast, so things have to happen here and now. So when I started to become a founder, I made sure that I knew everything. And yeah, some people get annoyed because you ask a lot of clarifying questions. Any DApp or code that you get done, you never ever just bring it out. You send it to multiple different people to review to see if there's any back doors. But yeah, in that process, you start to pick up some stuff, and then in between in the bear market, when it's build market, it just hits you of why don't I learn how to do this? Because after you get it, you have to maintain it. So like with
Mhm.
website updates, for example, you can't just rely on your web dev. They sleep, you don't. So it's nice when you know exactly what to do.
They sleep, you don't. Yeah, I get the point. But let's come back to your project. You earlier said this is kind of involved with Hulk Inu. It gets me a little curious because one of my questions was why a second project now. You already talked about they kind of work together. So how in general do they work together? So what's the way of working?
Um, yeah, there's a few different things, right? So you have to be realistic with a meme project. Even the biggest ones that we love, like Shiba and Doge, they don't. It's all marketing with memes. And then now we're into the world of okay, now there's more utilities attached. but we wanted real world practical utility. So how it's connected, as you can see from BloomBlock's chart, it's holding very strongly. So one is reputation of, like continuous proof of work that, Dev delivers, Dev's not going anywhere, gets people comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
So one is that we already came in with a community and trust. But how BloomBlock is associated with Holkino, if you look on the site now, BloomBlock.news, part of our strategy for BloomBlock as we grow its audience is paid bannership advertisements. And as of now, as we're building more and more audience, those are reserved for Holkino. And so the Holkino brand is attached. So as people are getting their news from BloomBlock, which is automated news, it's the first decentralized news platform. That way, Holkino is getting exposure, and that way it pumps up as well as BloomBlock pumps up, so people can DCA on either chart and go into the utility or the meme, with the trust knowing that the team is building and growing the hub even more. And as we develop more tokenized utilities, all of these start to interconnect with each other in the same way. So that's why we call it a hub. So right now, BloomBlock and Holkino are helping each other, and it goes into the third, fourth, fifth, and we're aiming probably for 10 tokenized utilities. It all depends on workload. At no point are any of these not focused on. It's all about the next steps. So we have it in our roadmap as well for BloomBlock. But this way, the projects, all of them, they don't really have an end. They just have complements and additions, and we can keep on going, and we get stronger and stronger.
Sounds great. So we could say BloomBlock is one of the tokenized utilities which hubs through Hulk.
Yeah. It's the whole Kinu team. So it's basically off of that of the community trust, and then intertwined growth. So as BloomBlock grows, more exposure goes to Holkino and vice versa for Holkino towards BloomBlock. So it's like double promotion, really.
Okay, and the DAO is like connected with the DeFi side, and on the DAO you vote for the decisions which are made in the on the news side.
Yeah. So just to clarify, the DAO is not out yet. So we did launch with our utility live. So BloomBlock is live, the news platform. The
Mm-hmm.
DAO will come with time, with holders being able to allocate tokens for voting rights, similar to like a board of advisors. So if you hold a high share in a company, aka the tokens in BloomBlock, you have more voting rights for how we'll move forward, whether it be marketing, partnerships, what events we'll go with. So we'll also do linked advertising. So it's called BloomBlock. Sorry, I have to like step back a couple times. It's called BloomBlock to target and leverage the reputation of Bloomberg, which is one of the major news platforms, but not doing great on the crypto side. So one side is, yeah, it can be competitive, but on the other side, I've studied marketing, so this is also that we can start to go to events and host promotions alongside of Bloomberg, and this way we leverage the reputation. People are get more associated with BloomBlock. So yeah, so that's part of it as well.
Okay, so if I want to be part of the DAO, I need to hold a certain amount of tokens, of BloomBlock tokens.
Well, yeah, the DAO will be a voting process. So there'll be polls or major events that will have a choice on what to do first, whether it be we go into international exposure, what country should we go into first, exchange listings, which one do you prefer? All of them are practical. All of them will be done, but it's more about what will be first. And the same route, we have different places of the app, the DAO, international exposure, and exchange listing plans as far as our long-term growth. But this way, you own tokens, and then you basically pay with your tokens to vote. But it won't be a large amount. But yeah, it's more of the traditional sense of a DAO.
Okay, so it's not just about um, having a certain amount of token or holding them. So you have to pay with them to make a decision or to make a vote.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Final decisions aren't there, but that's the general idea of, yeah, you use your tokens to vote. The more you have, the more weight that you can put onto your vote.
Okay, so in terms of selling the token,
Mhm.
If you look from the viewpoint of a potential investor, it's either about the growth of the price of the token, or you need to buy the token to vote.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but then for the price of the token, right? So I had this question before, the incentive from the utility to the investor. So I know a lot of utilities say, buy the token to get access to this utility. We're doing that. Yes, we're also not doing that. We obviously want the more exposure is the better inside of crypto, right? We're very much in the exposure side of crypto, and exclusivity works, but at the same time, that's not really what news is about. So just like Bloomberg has paid services, we'll probably have incorporated into our app. We'll have that as the first thing where you can use your tokens with. If you're a token holder of a certain amount, you get premium membership in that app as long as you hold those tokens. It does make things more complicated, but yeah, we like to build. So as you see, we already have our utility out, but yeah, we'll be building. We listen to the community. So what's nice is that we can also incorporate any news site that you like, as far as the English side. And so, yeah, if you like your news sites better, we can incorporate into BloomBlock, no problem. So that's one of the sides where we listen to the community.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so anybody can on the DAO, anybody can vote. But yeah, it won't be a huge amount, but it'll be that if you really want something, then you can vote more and more with more tokens. But on the other side of that is you hold the tokens because all of the revenue generated from our advertisements, featured articles, affiliate marketing ads, and strategic alliances go right back into the project.
Mm-hmm.
So that also improves your token holding position.
Mm-hmm. Are there already thoughts about what would be the difference between a normal version and the premium version, or is this up to the DAO to decide in the near future?
For the app will come before the DAO, but yeah, that's the way I see it. Yes, you can say it's the finished product, but realistically, again, we move in practical and realistic movements, and kind of upfront, just things that make sense. Like how I mean, it's German culture and Dutch culture, right? Like to be a bit more direct than the other side of the world. So the app will come out, just like BloomBlock is out. It's fully functional. There are no issues, but there's always room for improvement. So there'll be votes for that. Of here are some of the suggestions we got from the community. Let's vote through the DAO. But the perks from the app would be premium membership, meaning like no ads. So we'll also have ad revenue generated from the application itself too. But being a BloomBlock holder, you have no ads. But we don't want to block off certain parts of news just because you hold higher value. That's not really what we're going for.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Another question I was having is currently the news.
Mhm. Still there?
So sorry, I just got kicked out of my Telegram. Happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, Currently the news is on the website. Is there also an application for iPhone, Androids in planning or already coded, or how does that look?
Well, that would be for the app. Right now, it's desktop. So I mean, yeah, Android or iPhone can still use BloomBlock News, but they would just use their browser. But the app will be launched for Android and Apple. Although I've already heard some concerns about how Apple takes longer. So it could be Android first, but nonetheless, we're aiming for both at the same time.
Okay, and is there a possible time frame which this could be happening in within the next 2 or 3 months or within the next year?
I can say within the next year easily, but one of the rules of thumbs we have is, especially when you're not fully in control of it, is we don't do times. So we even try not to announce things before they come out, but everybody wants to know, the future, of course, and what the roadmap, the marketing plan is. Um, but yeah, we can't give a specific time on the app itself. There's going to be some hurdles to have to jump over for sure.
Mm-hmm.
but it will be the first utility. So that's another benefit. Our Hulk Inu holders know that we move quite quickly. But yeah, so we'll have the app out, but we're thinking about before that to have a custom Telegram bots. We already use Aximo bot where it auto posts the news articles into Telegram, and also the news articles on BloomBlock are auto tweeted onto our Twitter for the consumer's convenience. So the we'll probably have a bot come out first, but the app shouldn't be long. You know, we got to bring this out um, faster rather than longer. But yeah, no, I can't give a specific time though.
Okay. Another thing I was wondering about is, will there be some personalizable features on the websites? For example, um, there are like the mainstream news platforms, like for example Cointelegraph, CoinDesk, or so on. These are mainly websites which share news with you. But is it also, or could it be possible with BloomBlock that you can personalize the news you get from the persons you get, or is this is how should I say it? Who decides which articles of whom's are posted to whom?
Yeah. So these articles, well, right now it's not personalized. I can understand what you mean. Right now it's various verified news platforms that go and auto post onto the site. So like I said before as well, for anyone that just came in, if you have a news site that you want in there that's your favorite, for example, Forbes is one of the ones that we will pull articles from, we can incorporate your site. So this is great for influencers for their TA and great for your general traders, swing traders for the market. But for personalization, we do have a couple of ideas already. Where I mean, the one that I like the most, but has the most loopholes, is that everything I just explained about how we can put articles in that you could personalize it yourself as well. One, yeah, that's extremely complicated code, but two, also who's I don't know if many people will take the time to copy paste all of their news platforms and then have their own personalized Bloom block. But other than that, personalization come in a lot of different ways, like favorites as well. So as we go, we can these sites that we're tied to right now. You know, we're just pulling with them, but as we get more of a reputation and more of an audience, these platforms that we pull articles from can start to become partners. So that can also be paid,
Mm-hmm.
and that way people can also favorite. So that's I think that's the most simple route, and that could just be V1 is that we'll have a favorite section, so you can favorite certain brands of crypto, but also you can favorite certain news platforms that you'd like to get your news from primarily.
Mm-hmm. Because I think that that's something would be really interesting, because the problem, or something I deal a lot with, is I'm seeing a lot of news and a lot of different news sites, Twitter, websites, whatever, and there is no way for me to get all the information of just the things I'm interested about, personalized on my phone. For example, if I'm interested in what XYZ is twittering, I can just put into Twitter, just give me the XYZ content, and what else. And I think it would be really cool if you could make something where the user, if he wants to, can decide which news he wants, and he gets sent it with a push message. If your favorite influencer puts out another tweet, you get it, for example. Or if there is a small guy who is writing good news articles, which would never come to the big pages, and the guy, you can just put him in your feed, and then you get it.
Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah, that's actually I wrote it down. So this is what I mean of this is V1 in the sense of yes, it's fully functional, and but what's nice about it is I go on these AMAs, also our community, they realize there's a lot of room to grow. And that's what's very handy about a new project, right? It's you get to see these stepping stones, you see the motions, and each time you do something like this, it can spread a lot of awareness, as well as get a lot of influencers' attentions to start calling again for a new wave in the chart. But yes, this is one of the problems we're addressing is that one is that news is it's convoluted. There's so much of it. But even outside of crypto is kind of where it comes from is that, we see on these conglomerate, these very big news platforms or brands, they're very one-sided. So like in America, you'll have a Republican focus or a Democratic focus, or even think geographical, whether it's reports from, European side of things or, Asian side of things, they usually start to tailor to what's in favor of their country, their GDP. So, there's a general consensus and bias inside of news, and you have to compare two different platforms and make your own decision. Now we can't fix that. We're not going to claim that we're a superpower and we're going to make all news 100% true, but we are saying that this is decentralized in the sense of we have no control of what's posted. In regards to, we just pull from multiple different platforms. It's all extremely fast, which is why Twitter and Telegram are incorporated as well. um, and that way it's accurate, but also more importantly, it's unbiased. So you can pull these articles together, and there may be two articles right next to each other at points that will be a contradiction. One will say a good thing, one will say a bad thing, but then you can easily read those two right in front of you. And then
Mhm.
personalization absolutely is one of the next steps. That's going to be included in V2. That's something that was talked about before BloomBlock V1 was even revealed, which came out in January.
That's nice because it's always like you need to, if you look about the whole crypto market, I think I'm gonna drop a silent wisdom here. If you look on the whole crypto market and you look on projects from the start to the beginning, they always tend to they go the same way. You have these key players, you have these key stations of influencers, of news articles, and if you know which ones you need to listen to, and you're the first one to get the information, you would have a huge edge over the other people. I recently talked with Pablo about that. If you find out like 5 to 10 influencers and some news sites, some small news sites, um, they always start the same way. And if you get this kind of information just on your phone as a push message, for example, XYZ is starting to promote this coin again, then with a lot of certainty that this is probably gonna do some access within the near future, and your app could help track all these informations and even analyze it. So you could do an algorithm, of which influences or news lead to which events or a certain amount of public interest or what else. I'm gonna talk a little bit too much again.
No, you got it actually. That was good news actually, because that's something I can hint at, but I don't like to focus on the future too much, and people want to know what's happening now. But I like this. This is something that a big piece of BloomBlock is one, like I said, the banner ads used for partnerships. So you got to imagine going onto an exchange, we can get some big discounts, or also preference by saying, hey, we'll put OKX up, Coinbase up as a banner ad for a month, 2 months for a certain discount. So we can negotiate that, especially when we get a higher audience score. But that is something that I was very intrigued on. Of even before that, is one of the personalization features is influencer section. So it could be like Watcher Guru. I don't want to name too many influencers, but yeah, we could also advertise to them of here. We'll put this up, and then anything you post will auto post to this influencer section. And we'll also have like an influencer page that BloomBlock will automatically retweet everything that you post. So it kind of doubles their calls. So like some of the ones that I've already called us, like Maythal Senzu, a few others that are coming, which I know they don't want me to mention their names yet. But then we can also, have an added benefit towards them, either for discounts or just for their support, because that's something that's very handy for them and then for us too. So it's about mutual benefit, and we can even go into that for projects, but that's more for banners. So yeah, no, you got it right there. That's one of our long-term goals.
An influencer rating would also be a cool tool to rate if your influencer is just posting bullshit or if he has decent information.
Oh yeah, but influencers hate that. There's been so many there's been so many, you know, and yeah, I used to be a bit of an influencer, and it's true. Like sometimes you'll post and you'll be very excited about a project, but you know, the trends, you know, what's happening in the market, memeability, all these different things, you know, they all play a factor.
Mm-hmm.
Or just like, you know, there's another project that's booming right there then, that it affects the influencer rating.
Mm-hmm. I think this could be something which, in my opinion, you should build on. That you become the let's say first decentralized blockchain, news page, which also interacts with its users. Because like we said before, most of the time you can just consume, but you can't really decide what to consume. And if you do like a really nice like personalizable features with data and everything, and you put some work into some nice and easy how-to tutorials on YouTube or something, I think you could really onboard a lot of people into a world of interacting with news in your own way, and this could
Yes,
be
yeah.
edge over the
Yeah,
competition.
exactly. Yeah, stepping stones though, you know, we like to do things in pieces. So this type of thing, it's also very handy with DAO, but also with our community seeing us grow, but also being involved in that growth process. You know, it's a sense of pride, camaraderie. You know, it's all about us working together in one motion forwards. And like I said, it just shows there's a lot of room to grow. And you know, you don't want to give all of your ammo right in the beginning, right? You want to be able to continuously push things out, and hit these milestones that have an impact. So usually when we bring something out, it's not just here it is. It's different stepping stones of here's how we're going to market it three ways. Here's how you can use it three ways. And here's how we're going to be updating you guys in multiple different ways of this and how we're going to push forward. So it's all about interconnected growth is one of the things we try to focus on, especially with the development of utility. Is that way, you know, different pieces come out, and that's with your favorite utilities, Coinbase, Binance. They're all still doing updates, and you know, it causes a bit of a boom in their chart, but also a massive attention towards them for the
Mhm.
growth, something that's new too. So yeah, no, I love these ideas, and I make notes of them, and I'm sure by the time it comes, I'll have pages just like I've had in the past of what to incorporate, but based on you know the user's experience, not just what I think is a good idea or what my team thinks is a good idea. So I
That's
love the
great.
thoughts.
I'm always happy to drop some interesting ideas for you.
Yeah, for
Mm,
sure.
Another question I was having is, does everybody gets the same news feed, or is this personalized on what you've watched before, like data tracking and cookies or whatever?
No, everybody gets the same. So we have quite the big list of platforms that we pull from, and it all goes onto BloomBlock and BloomBlock's Twitter and the Aximo bot for fast updates.
Okay, so another question I was having, it's not about the project in general, but it's about the lock of the liquidity. I was seeing the lock is for 3 months. Are you going to extend this afterwards? Why just 3 months? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be extending it. So what we did with Hulk was we did it in different pieces. So it's basically just like an announcement, something to push out alongside of other pumps, gets people nice and more comfortable. But yeah, it's mostly just a marketing strategy. But yeah, then also the lock, depending on in the future, if we want to do bridging, which we have planned for, but bridging is extremely complicated, especially as we start to develop more and more of a hub where our bridging can be a bridge for all of our utilities and Hulk all onto one bridge. So it's nice not to have it that you know it's 3,000 years locked, and if you want to do something where you need to take down the contract and reset everybody's like a migration. resend everyone their tokens. If it's and that's only if it's extremely crucial. Like we've done that in the previous project too. There's no issues, but it was a big headache. But yeah, crypto is ever changing, so we don't want to put ourselves into a corner of we can't do that because of a previous decision. But also bear in mind that lock will never be close to unlocking. We'll probably lock it before even relock it before even halfway to that point.
Okay. And another thing I was wondering about, you were saying we can track prices on the website. Which charts are you taking? Like Binance or another platform? Which one are you taking?
Well, they're all different. It's basically what's on trending, but there's a bunch. It goes from I have it in front of me is Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Binance, USD, XRP,
Yeah, yeah,
Binance
but
USD.
where
Yeah,
do you get the data from? You always, you have different prices on different exchanges. So where are you taking the data from?
this comes from CoinLore.
Okay. Are you planning anytime in the near future or in general to start an own, how shall I say it, research or news team for BloomBlock? Because from my opinion, it's true that you got like a lot of different news pages, but in general, like 95% of the mainstream media does cover the same topic from the same point of view. So I was
Oh
wondering
yeah,
if
100% of it actually. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. No, because the whole idea is unbiased, right? So we've already had requests of post an article for us, and that's kind of what we stand against. But we can go into other things, like through YouTube, journalism, magazines, and as we get more exposure, then we can start to play with more of, hey, we can promote your projects. But as far as the news side of things, we want it to be unbiased. It's one of our key features.
hmm
So instead of us having a news team, journalism is definitely possible though, like at conferences and whatnot.
okay, because a tricky point I see at the moment is that it's unbiased in a way of just taking it from other platforms, but if all the news sources, let's say it like call it like sources, if all sources have the same point of view, it's
Yeah,
technically biased but not really in a philosophical way, or in a you do you get my point?
yeah, like a realistic way. No, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing is that we incorporate what the community says, and yeah, I see what you're saying that we could have just chose all one side to pull the articles from. But yeah, no, that's it's still the side of being unbiased by not having it written yourself, or also pushing through with certain projects that you want to stand out. That's what the banner ads are for.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, as far as the unbiased, and then yes, they are the same articles, but it's about the growth and having more and more come up. So instead of you having 15 tabs open, this is something that Believes Crypto mentioned, and Adam Shelton, if I remember right. They have 15 tabs open, looking at all these different things that are happening in the market to determine their technical analysis. And what's handy with BloomBlock is that that can all be to one website.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's different sources and sometimes the same consensus, and sometimes completely different. But at least that way, it's all right in front of you. And with news, you have to be quick, and the later you are, the more inaccurate it is.
Mm-hmm. So we could say technically at the moment we are on a point where it's just an easy summary of all the information, but in the future there could be something personalizable which you can or could possibly interact with. So it's not just about the summary anymore, or the plan, the goal is not to be a summary just, other than making something, how should I say it, greater or bigger or more
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Of course, personalization it will be added in, especially with the app. But as far as like the core to what we stand for not having a news team and being unbiased, it will. BloomBlock will grow with not just reputation, but its source list as well. But yeah, personalization will be incorporated into the site, and then that will be put into the app as well, with the DAO going into it too. But yeah, I mean, as we grow, these things they start to become prevalent, right? So, we're new now, but your ideas are already, yeah, they're spot on, exactly. But as we start to develop more and more, and we think we're at a perfect 100%, there's still more room to grow for improvement. So no, this is BloomBlock is the operational site the basis of what we want for BloomBlock now exists, yes, but the potential and the growth side of things still has a lot of things to incorporate, and that will be with probably V1, V2, V3 of BloomBlock, and also that those added features will be incorporated into the app, and then the app will have its own added features as well that won't be on the website. So yeah, there's a lot of different places to grow, but yes, this is like a placeholder, but fully functional, and really incorporates the idea of what we want BloomBlock to be and what BloomBlock is now.
Hmm. May I ask which requirements do I need to get posted on your website?
Which
I
requirements do you need
Yeah, I can
for the
explain the question a little further because I was thinking about a lot of times, you got the big mainstream medias which have all the same point of view, and then you got like small independent writers or journalists, whatever you call them, which often don't have the necessary reach or get blocked from the internet or from Google searches with easy methods. I mean, you know a lot about censorship, I think. So, is it also possible to be a small independent writer and get published on your website?
yes, yes. So, but that depends on verification, right? So a registered LLC, and not we're not going to be using like a paparazzi type of platform that has to be verified. So as far as now where we're at right now is all verified platforms, Forbes, Bloomberg, list goes on, which I should probably pull up at a point. But yeah, no. So there will be definitely tasks. Sorry, I thought you were thinking about like a banner ship promotion, which also will just be more as we go, a bit more of the verification of has to be safe. But yeah, same type of thing is that it doesn't need to be humongous, no, and you can be small. But we definitely have to have one side of like community voting for something that's not necessarily licensed, and in the realistic side, yes, a licensed company and
You,
English.
so this was also one of the questions. So you are a licensed company. You are
No,
legally controlled.
no, no, we're not. I know, hypocritical, right? We're brand new, and we
Hmm.
can get registered when the time comes to it. But as far as now, we want to move forward in the idea of okay, we just started small, up and coming, growing, and that's another milestone announcement. I've been working on this since January, so I could have provided a lot to get ready. But for example, our project website is being redone right now, and this was also thought about of let's start off meme, like a meme type of like a attention grabber website, and then we'll go into what you would expect from a project website that showcases more professionalism and journalism. So yeah, we're not a registered business yet. There's also certain thresholds we have to meet to be able to register. There's also the stepping stones of as we start to bring out all these different utilities. There's there's different choices of an umbrella corporation, an LLC, private. So these things also start to come to light as we get closer to them. But as far as now, it's not necessary. But that is funny. Good question. Nice and hypocritical. But for the value of the news, we want it to be a verified news source, and we are becoming a verified news source.
Okay. If I click on a news article, do I get
Mhm.
redirected to the source on the other news platform, or do you copy the whole article and host it on your website?
The second one, you can go. The article is on the website, and you can go down as you can see the source to go to the main website.
Okay, so if it's deleted on the other website, it still stays on your website.
That's a good question. Well, that hasn't happened yet. Yeah, it should stay on our website. Yeah, that's how the internet works, right? If you have a video up and you want to take it down, but everyone else has shared it, it's still up. So yeah, it should still stay up.
Interesting, interesting. So, is there any possibility that someone can come to you and say you're not allowed to post this or that, like fake news, censorship, or something like that?
No, because they're from verified sources. And then as far as our operability, since it's sourced, it's linked, that's fine too. So yeah, no, we're set. We're good. We did a lot of research on this. But yeah, no, if somebody else posted, that's also the handy side of us being, yeah, we pull articles in and we didn't create this content. So it takes a lot of risk of legal matters and things like that. Or also like, it's not that we're promoting. We do have that with banners, right? So we have to be close with the banners that we're not promoting like a scam or something. But other
Mm-hmm.
than that, these articles, they're all out and it's all just general news, but promotion is different.
Okay, sounds good. I just came up with another idea, but I missed it again. Too much working in my head. But
Hmm.
as soon as I got it back, I'll let you know. Ah, this was it. I'm still somewhere in the on the point with the mainstream media, because I'm someone who is very critical about what you get feeded, and you always think about it yourself. And normally you have your mainstream media, which also which always posts the same stuff, and then you have this hypocritical guys, with their blogs, which gets easily pushed in a certain corner, like Illuminati or something to exaggerate it. um could it be possible to, or I think it would be interesting if you also find some of the not mainstream guys, which are licensed or certified news feeds, to get a real good mixed point of view, if this
Yeah,
makes
for
sense.
sure. Yeah, I mean, like Watcher Guru is kind of like that, and we're pulling news from him as well.
Hmm.
But yeah, otherwise, there's also the verified ones of like Cointelegraph, CoinDesk. But yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that's the whole idea is that it's a mix, right? So it's not saying BloomBlock says it's just here's information. Do with it as you please. Make your own opinions.
Sounds nice. Is there any possibility of push notifications when I make an D app, or is this something for later on?
Yeah, it's later on. For now, it's all about promotion, exposure, and getting feedback like this. But honestly, we're already going to be incorporating some changes to BloomBlock. There'll be a few different versions of updates. But yeah, push notifications will be for the app. But the way I see it is the things we want to do with the app, right? Instead of doing it all in one go in the app, we use the desktop, not really as beta, but as introductions. So the V1s to V3, 5, BloomBlock, which are just upgrades. We incorporate it into the app, and then the app will have some nice surprises on top of it. But that way, we are able to grow in stepping stones. Like think about a lot of the gaming coins, like the huge ones like Star Atlas. I say like it's a huge game, beautiful artwork. This capabilities are amazing. It comes out in a year, and everyone forgets about it because there's no updates within that year. Compared
Hmm.
to here's demo 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the final comes out. You have people that are already accustomed and you have with the release, the launch, you have a nice already a foundation of people that are excited to use it. So you get a good turnaround from that. So yeah, we'll be growing these things in piece by piece. And V2 of BloomBlock actually shouldn't be too far away, but we want to get a few more things squared away with community awareness and also your standard crypto things like CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, which is on the way. A few other things too. We already have socials updated and whatnot. So yeah.
I think in my head I'm just way too much into the future, so I have to understand that we are really early at the moment. but I'm really curious about what you're gonna do within the next few months, because I think this has a lot of potential. Also with the push notifications, it's all about getting the best information as fast as possible, as easy as possible, and as, how shall I say it, as big as possible so you don't miss it. And I think this is like the key thing which makes BloomBlock really interesting.
Right. Yeah. Well, there's one side of if you follow BloomBlock's Twitter, I mean, now we've incorporated our project updates into that Twitter. So it's a bit of a 2-for-1 special with our social media account. Um, but because we auto post onto Twitter, those can also be used for push notifications, but they're not personalized yet. But it is great of the some of the things you mentioned. We're already on our register. And I don't want to say they're easy to incorporate, but they're not difficult compared to some of the thoughts that we have where we can go with BloomBlock. So yeah, so going forward, it's nice to see a utility that's out, but then you continuously get reminded of it, about how we're growing it. But saying we have is you can make the best product in the world, but if nobody sees it, it will not sell. So we're very much focused on exposure, of course, development. Where you also are not going to be heavily marketing a terrible non-functional product. But yeah, Bloomberg is fully functional. But yeah, then there's room to grow as well. So along with those promotions, whether it be influencers, automated social media ads, bannerships, other places, more AMAs, we're able to have those as milestones connected to these product developments.
That's nice. That's really nice. Yeah, I have to say I'm more or less through with all my questions. Um, is there anything else we didn't talk about yet? Because I think like tokenomics and so on, everybody can watch up on the website. Um, but is there anything
Yeah,
else we missed at the moment?
yeah, for sure. Well, not that you missed, but something I'd like to mention of yeah, so what's happening now going forward in the very near future, instead of the what to expect in the long term, what you can expect from the Bloom Block team is we have more callers that are getting ready. So we're getting our rounds in, getting callers in at low market caps for updates as we go. And they're our favorite callers that we work with in the past. Like I said before, V2 of the website, the project website, will be out soon. It shouldn't be long. I know my web dev is working on it, but again, I can't really give you guys a time since I'm not working on it. We're also aiming at getting Dexel's trending going. CMC and CoinGecko have been applied and paid for fast track. So those should be in, who knows, up to them. We're also going to be getting the blue badge on our Twitter. So we'll be applying for that today or tomorrow to have the blue badge verification. And then we will also go into, with that badge, we'll go into automated Twitter advertisements to start with. But we'll also be going into YouTube. So I was right before this call, I was just getting our YouTube accounts up. We'll be uploading different videos there, and then also going into YouTube ads for some of our milestones. Something that's happened and is going to keep happening is we've hired a an actor slash news anchor, but he's really an actor, just to clarify. But it's just like a fun way of doing big updates. So we hire him in, and we already have the video up. But yeah, he's just talking about Bloom Black launch. But as we go later, for example, like with Bloom Black V2, we'll have that news anchor as our spokesperson along with me getting videos for that. We'll have that also with YouTube push advertisements, and we'll also be going to Instagram as we go deeper too. We're also connected to a newsletter publicist that has multiple different major news outlets that can post articles for us. I don't remember the major news outlets, but yeah, we can hire them in for a year as well. So we'll be doing that probably 2 weeks from launch, probably yeah. So this coming week, we'll be going into news publicists. But yeah, the thing is, you want these some of these promotions you want out after you're a bit more established with market cap and things like that. So other than that, we have those. Everything else is coming in very soon. And we also have our targeted Twitter raids. So as I said, we're targeting Bloomberg. So we have a list of journalists that we'll be targeting on Twitter with our raids. So we currently have 50 raiders that raid 4 times a day, so 4 hours total. And we'll also be having a meme contest that incorporates Twitter too. So if anybody in here is looking for a contest of some sort, that'll be coming soon, alongside of our next pump, where you make a meme, you tweet it, you tag us, and then you forward it in to our main group, and then we'll pin it for you as well. It helps us with being able to determine the winners, but also helps us with exposure and trending on Twitter. That'll be the first of many meme contests, raid contests, shill contests. We have our reward wallets ready to go. So yeah, that's something I that I'm confident of saying what's happening right now. What you guys can expect going forward in the next few steps.
That's great. Yeah, I hope this will go as fast as possible because I could really use a well working personalizable version of your app. This would be really something I've dreamt of for a long time, because I'm always like complaining like Pablo who posted what, and he's like there 24/7, but it would be really time saving to get this. Huh.
Yeah, well, I mean, try and try out the website a little bit more. Try it with Twitter as well.
Mm-hmm.
Personalization is not where we're at, but at least push notifications you can get through Twitter. And then yeah, it's a bit personalized through categories on the page. But I have a few influencers that use this often because they'll DM me saying like, hey, there's this issue, which is like a picture's missing. It's not, again, it's fully functional. But yeah, some of those upgrades and perks we can definitely incorporate. But yeah, feel free to give it a look around. And that's what's great too is that you can be on Bloomberg's news platform, Bloomberg, not us. And you can have your complaints or your wishes, but they can never be granted. With us, as of now, is you just tell me, and if it's a good idea, awesome. We'll do our best to incorporate it quickly. But then going forward, as we get larger and larger, we actually have a DAO. So it's again something that these major news platforms don't have for incorporation, not for the content itself, but some of the things that are handy for the user. So yeah, there's a lot of room to grow, and yeah, it's fully functional now. You can get a lot of information from it, just like you do now from multiple news sites. So this is all multiple news sites in one.
Yeah, I tested it today, and I was really liking it. I think if you have a look at it, it's like to catch. It's like you got a relatively normal structure. It's nice.
Yeah, there's also the charts, live charts of Bitcoin and Ethereum down at the bottom for swing trading for people to analyze things. So they read something either funny or super bullish, and they're able to scroll right down and look at the charts and see what's happening. It's trading you, so you can kind of just choose by the minute, the day, and so on and so forth. I think we want to incorporate our chart into this as well, at a point, but yeah, I don't know how biased that is, so we're still thinking that over.
Hmm. You could also do like a shitcoin top chart for paid projects. Like advertisement.
Yeah, that's yes. Yeah, I'm worried about the paid advertisements too much because it takes away from the site. So we're already going to be having affiliate advertisements and banners.
Hmm.
So that's nice and slick. But yeah, we could do something like that every once in a while. But that's something I think after we're established. That's not something we want to lead with.
I know we are. I keep trying to remember myself not to think too far ahead in the future.
No, it was good. I wrote that one down too. If we can navigate it, because it's one side of it's a good idea, but another side of there's still like the brand, our brand that we have to focus on what we're communicating and who we're communicating to.
Hmm.
So thankfully, from our team's reputation, we already have some big names that are very interested. So later on today, we'll be on a YouTube live AMA, so you'll get to see my face with Believes Crypto.
Hmm.
And then we'll be going on the more AMA tours as well. But yeah, we already have some people that are very interested in our projects, that are influencers and well connected that can help push us a bit forward. Some of the things that we're concerned about, we've already adjusted or started to adjust. And then they get in when they get more comfortable. But that's really just proof of work, trial and error. Oh, there was a dip. Oh, you recovered from that dip so quick. Wow. Okay. People get more comfortable holding that way. So we need to take our time with marketing, promotions, charts, stability, before we can really roll out some of these big changes to the site. So that way, they're actually impactful, and hit hard and make their justified investments for a return on investment into the chart for the holder still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice, nice, nice. Then I'd say Pablo should open up the chat. If some questions are still left, anyone wants to ask you directly, feel free to just raise your hands or type down in the chat. It should be working as of now. Also wenn ihr noch Fragen habt, Leute, falls noch irgendwas unklar war, einfach kurz aufzeigen oder in den Chat schreiben. Und ja, I just explained in German. If they got any questions, they feel free to ask.
Yeah, I understand a bit of German.
Ah, yeah, you're from the Netherlands.
Yeah, yeah, I wasn't gonna say it.
Ah,
And if
nice.
anybody wants me to repeat anything, speaking of which, I know in Germany, a lot of times your English is even better than mine. But if anybody didn't understand anything, feel free to ask me to repeat.
Oh, you got a real good English. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, no, I'm American. I'm saying that if someone's in there like this guy talks so fast,
Ah, okay,
I
okay.
can repeat something. But
But with
again, in Germany, I know your English is very proficient.
yeah, I think a lot of Germans are not into English, but a lot of people, let's say like this, only the business Germans and the e-Germans are into English. The rest you can just take them and trash them for the English skills. But it's the same
Come
like
on,
with
man. What about Berlin, Düsseldorf? I know Munich is known to not be very English speaking, but Berlin's your Amsterdam, if not definitely better than Amsterdam, but very international.
yeah. Uh, but if you take like the mass of Germans, I think it's like it's getting better. But you have a lot of old people which are not really used to that much English.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's a very big country.
But in the end, we're mixed. Like we're from Austria, Germany, Switzerland. So I think they got for everyone something.
Yeah.
So, Pablo's is not the yellow from the egg.
It's an expression I don't get, but I put the pieces together. I think I get it.
So Eddie's typing something. I think it's really funny. Most of the people are really shy when it comes to talking.
Yeah, it's always like that. Always. Unless it's something they want to complain about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Ah,
Here, I'll
you've been a
also
queen.
share I'll share a chunk of links as well. That shows like our contract is audited. I'm KYC'd, I'm doxed. I'll be redoxing today as well with leaves. Audited white paper is out and website is out. V2 is coming. So here are all those links. And I knew it too much.
Oh wait, I'm gonna drop it. I think the bot was a little too harsh with you.
I was
So
like 6 links, so I agree with the bot. I knew it in my head.
so just posted it. So and you should be good to write again too. Chart looks sexy. Yeah, the chart looks sexy. That's true.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have more to come from here. I unfortunately I can't really share insider. Um, but yeah, no, this is the start of some niceness. There's certain parameters we have to meet, and we're very close to some of those for some of these waves. Now, if you trade a lot in crypto, maybe you can put those pieces together by volume and market cap. And I
Mm-hmm.
already said CMC and CoinGecko.
Yeah. Oh.
So yeah, you guys have some of the information that I haven't shared yet of what the following steps are. But yeah, so we'll have the AMA with Bleeds as well in 4 hours, a little bit under 4 hours.
So in 4 hours there's the next May. And now you're gonna
Yeah.
do a tour and another, or just these two tours.
Um, we have to. I don't know. I'm not too sure. I plan it out. I'll look around. We have them available, but yeah, it's our first week, so there'll be update calls, AMAs, then some developments smushed in between for justify some calls. But yeah, well, there'll be some more AMAs. I'm just not entirely sure on when.
Yeah, like you said, it's better to put out one piece at a time, slowly and steady, to feed the hungry people all the time, than to give them a lot and then let them starve to death.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But then we moon the chart, and then that doesn't leave me in the best space of sitting down doing an AMA. Otherwise, I'm like DMing, running left and right. So there's different times. AMAs usually for some clarification, a bit more of established chart, but right now we're still very much in our growth phases of hitting our true ATH. And then weebling with that a bit, and then making a whole plan for 4 AMAs in a day, 5 calls, update to the website, update to the news platform, then different ads, banner ads, all that. Then another burn. We also did our 10-hour burn yesterday with 2 hours left for these next calls that will be coming in. So those type of strategies we also have in mind of certain promos for certain things, right? AMAs are one side, um, and then calls and advertisements are different sides. Some of these promotions are long term, like automated social media ads. It's not that we upload the social media ad and you're going to see a return on investment instantly. But we got to check all these boxes, and then then the AMA gets boring too. We need to have things to talk about.
Mm, I know what you mean. You can't do too much because then you always repeat the same stuff everyone already knows, and then you are wasting unnecessary time, which you could better focus on the project.
Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, the person that's I joined every AMA and I know your whole life story and I've heard the same things about the project. They want some news. So everything in its own time.
Like baseball, I want a child from you, following every aim.
Yeah, I'm the Hulk Dev hunk. But yeah, no, in time. There's a you know how it is when you launch a project. You have to get CMC, CoinGecko established. Even though it is not doing what it did 2 years ago, of course, but it still has to be there. It's something you have to check those boxes to get whales comfortable. And we're doing a bit more like redesigns, V2 BloomBlock to go out, a little bit more verifications. So you'll have investors that'll come in that want to ride the wave, but these are some of the things that you'll put out to one get whales comfortable with investing into you. So, for example, like all of our wallets are AppNS, they have their own domain. The locks, of course, recovery from dips, but then that same exact process will allow people to feel more comfortable holding. Because in the end, the investor, it's all about profits. It's one thing, yeah, the utility is great, but I want profits as an investor. So these things that we set up are some verifiers of okay, dedicated, elevated, and we're gonna keep on pushing this nonstop. And I
Mhm.
can say that, but people want to see that. So that's something
Yeah,
we're busy putting out.
I know what you mean. I just got another question through my DMs. Are you planning on doing SEO marketing with Google, Facebook, and so on for the end user when the bull market is coming back?
Yeah, we'll be doing that before the bull market as well. That is in our white paper. Let's see if I can get a screenshot for the community now that the chat's open. But yeah, so search engine optimization is one of our key features because of our name, right? So we're going to be using SEO aligned with Bloomberg. We're already doing that a bit with our posts. One of our tags are BloomBlock is bigger, and then BloomBlock bigger than Bloomberg. So we're tagging them. But Yeah, search engine optimization will go in with our articles as well. How we're putting out articles to major news plans platforms, not our articles.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so there's a few different things, right? So as you see here from our white paper, here's a link that'll lead you right to it. Is so there's keywords like what we were saying about tagging. And that's right now just on social media, but we'll go into Medium articles and other articles across different platforms to target into Bloomberg. With link building, will be eventually as we can afford it, is operating side by side with Bloomberg's techniques. But then really down the road, it will be will be associated with Bloomberg. So if Bloomberg is sponsoring an event, we'll be like stalking them, just to be frank, right? Just so that can be as clear as possible. We'll be stalking Bloomberg to also host those events with them, completely not associated by uh, by contract or deals. But this way, you'll see BloomBlock and Bloomberg, and we get that associated leverage as well. But yeah, so search engine optimization we use as well as Google Ads. So we have a guy for that as well. So he knows a bit better than I do, but that's the just from what I got from him that we'll be using SEO for. But yeah, it's a big part of our structure. But that's one of those things that it's not instant gratification, like a caller or a Dex Tools trending or something. But something that will be extremely impactful as we roll it out. But yeah, some of the steps to start first is our blue badge, some automated social media ads as well that help with that search engine optimization. Twitter as well. At this point, no, we're not going to be trending on Twitter, but that is something we're going to be going for, which is that tying into meme contests, very large raid team that can also grow, can double to 100 raiders, along with automated social media ads that are boosted and paid nonstop all across Twitter. Also very handy to get that trending. So that's like social media search engine optimization to start with. And then I'll end it that question. I'll end it with one of the key performance indicators of BloomBlock's marketing niche is a lot of these social media sites like LinkedIn, for example, is quite strict on promoting crypto projects, especially your general e-news and doges, your meme coin. Um, but we're able to circumvent, go around that because we will be promoting a news platform, BloomBlock, but then BloomBlock promotes our project. So we get a bit of a place where not many projects can promote. We get to sneak into. It's a lot of information, I know.
Ah, sorry, I unintentionally muted myself. Um,
Mhm.
so it will be possible to promote the project on your website, but not on other news websites like Degens and so on. Or did I get that correctly?
Oh no, I mean, there's certain platforms. Like if I wanted to promote Holkino on LinkedIn, LinkedIn would stop me
Mm-hmm.
because it's promoting a specific crypto project. But we're going around that by promoting BloomBlock, the platform, which in turn promotes our project.
I get the point. Get the point. Smart, smart. Right through the back door.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Got to find the loopholes.
So
So, any other questions from anybody inside of the chat?
I'm just checking my DMs again because there was something popping up. So
And for the people that just joined from my community or coordination, this is recorded, so you can always listen back in and get the footnotes.
yes, right after the Tim, which especially took a day delay for his holidays, so he can for sure finish this in time. We'll be editing the recording, and as soon as he's finished, we're gonna post it on YouTube and also make a post here on Telegram. And if you want, we can forward it to you.
Yeah, perfect. That way I'll upload it to our YouTube as well. That's what I was working on as well. getting a bit more of our YouTube presence in. I have an AMA on YouTube and realized, oh wait, do we have a YouTube account? But my social media manager set it up already. So just uploading some videos. So that's perfect. Another piece of content for me to upload.
Yeah, sometimes it comes in really handy to have a social media manager.
Oh man, like yes. A shout out to Polka. Uh, I don't even know if I can make it this far without her. Amazing,
Shout out
spectacular. So
to
yeah,
you.
no, it's needed.
Nice. Yeah, I can imagine that you got like, or let's say like that. I don't want to think about how much information and tasks you have
Hello,
to process within a day.
Yeah, you got to delegate.
Yeah.
the
So,
project phase.
What's
pardon,
up?
Itachi.
Sorry, sorry.
Okay, I think he accidentally unmuted himself.
Or if you have a question, now is your time.
Now
You have
or
the
never.
floor. And I think that it was never.
Now he shied away. I think you were too forward.
Okay. Is there anything else that you think we need to cover?
I'm good from my side. So if you got nothing else to mention, and if you guys have no questions left, I mean, you can always ask us in the chat or go into the Telegram group and ask there. But I think for today we are good.
That's right. Same goes for me. Chat is always open. We accept all questions as long as they're not bold, funny statements. But if you make that a question, no problem. We'll not get deleted and we will answer it. My DMs are always open. They are not open for your promo deals. Uh, um, yeah, feel free to watch us. If you're a bit iffy, no problem. Just give us a look. Even if you're listening to the recording, note down some of those things that I said that are coming. And that way you can have that as a verifier as well of, okay, you said all these things are coming and they came. And what's next? And then if you're excited for that, then you know it's going to come. But yeah, feel free to watch us. This is the beginning of a lot.
Sounds great. Then the only thing left to say for me is thanks a lot for taking your time today. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Absolutely, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. And hopefully we can get back on a AMA together a little bit later. And you are our first AMA guy. So you can have that Suka Pepe clout, the shine of, yeah, I did AMA with BloomBlock first.
I'm really honored. I'm really honored. Tim already told me today. He's like, yeah, you as first. I'm like, nice. I'm his first. I hope he won't forget.
No, you never forget your first, you know?
Yeah, I heard about that. Nice. Then, have a nice evening, guys. Thanks for taking your time today. Danke, dass ihr euch heute die Zeit genommen habt. Es war mir eine Freude mit euch. Habt noch einen schönen Abend and till next time. Bye.
Absolutely. Bye.